Oh man, that is brutal. Oh man, that is brutal. Cheddar Bob's getting it in. Cheddar Bob just had himself some red lobster. What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to my channel. It's Master Aquatics, and I got a new video for you guys. Obviously, you guys are watching it. So Cheddar Bob just had himself a ghost shrimp, and I was finally able to feed my angelfish some good live food. Now, I'm assuming this is because these angelfish are a little bit bigger. The angelfish that I tried feeding previously in my previous video in my 75-gallon tank were not interested whatsoever in the ghost shrimp. They saw it as another habitant of the aquarium. These guys, they were a little hesitant at first at going after the ghost shrimp, but Cheddar Bob was the first one to swallow up one of the ghost shrimp, and it was fun to watch. Now, some of you guys might be thinking that it's cruel that I'm doing this. Keep in mind, guys, that this is nature. I mean, this is what fish do. There's a lot of big fish out in the sea, in the lakes, and the ponds that eat other fish, and so on. And ghost shrimp is primarily used to feed, your fish. They're feeder fish, like minnows and stuff like that, and goldfish. Although I don't recommend that you feed your bigger fish goldfish, because I read online that goldfish are not good to feed your fish. So I highly recommend that you don't do that. But ghost shrimp, I don't see any harm in that. Cheddar Bob seemed to enjoy it very well. And if you keep watching, you can see Vivian eat her share of ghost shrimp as well. But anyway, so I also wanted to update you guys on something real quick that I think you guys might be really excited about. So as you can see, I got my fry now, and they are currently free swimming. So happy birthday to these little guys. They finally made it. Now, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and I'm hoping that they stay alive. Now, I will admit that I have noticed a decrease in the amount of fry that are present now. I felt like there was a lot more when they were wigglers. So I don't know if they ate some. I don't know if some died off, but I am going to hatch the next batch of eggs, and I'm going to show you guys how I do that, because honestly, guys, I have a feeling that these guys are not going to make it. But they've been doing fine so far. They've been free swimming for about 2 days, and the parents seem like they're taking care of them, but at the same time, it seems like they're still very inexperienced, and they are still learning how to take care of their fry. And so, I mean, and if I lose these batch of fry again, it's not going to be a big deal for me. I'm just going to raise the next batch of angelfish eggs, and hopefully I'm successful in hatching that batch of eggs, because I'll admit, guys, I feel a little rusty when it comes to that, because I think the last batch of eggs that I successfully hatched on my own was back in 2015. I would say like early 2000, probably not even that, probably like late 2014. So I'm a little nervous, but still, I'm gonna try it. I mean, I still know what to do, just like I said, I'm a little rusty. I haven't done it in a while. So, and I probably won't be able to keep up with all the daily water changes, but I'm going to try. But like I said, I'll do my best for you guys. Anyways, here are the ghost shrimp that I got from PetSmart. These guys were like 19 cents each. They were really cheap, and I got about 6 of them. And I try to get them as small as I can. So these were the smallest ones that I could get for my angelfish, because last time I had got them too big for my smaller angelfish, and my angelfish didn't eat them. So what ended up happening is the ghost shrimp became a habitant of my 75-gallon tank, and I actually still have like 2 left in the 75-gallon tank. I've been meaning to get footage for you guys on those 2. They haven't gotten bigger or anything like that. I mean, they're still the same. Also, in the last video, I mentioned that I felt like my fish were sick, and so I've been dosing this Mellow Fix like crazy. Like I've been using like a quarter of the bottle like for the past 3 days. Like I would it took me 3 days to go through that whole bottle. Pretty much, I was dosing it like crazy because I wanted to get rid of the parasite and the infection that was in there, because it's already killed one of my angelfish and one of my gouramis, which is fine. I mean, it's not fine. I mean, it sucks. But my main priority are my discus, because one, they're the most expensive fish, and two, they're my favorite for right now. I mean, I know I can't be choosing favorites out of my babies, but I can't lie to you guys. I mean, I really like these discus, although I mean, they won't be my favorite when I get my other fish, because the other fish are going to be the real deal. I haven't really figured out exactly what else I'm going to get in this tank. I know I'm getting more angelfish and discus, but I'm also going to get some other fish that are not angelfish and discus, and I think I'm going to leave that as a surprise for you guys, and I'm just going to keep you guys guessing, and it's going to be a fish that I've never had, and probably a fish that a lot of people don't own. So I'm going to try to find like a really cool exotic fish to put in this tank that can commingle with the discus and the angelfish. I don't know if it's going to be small. I don't know if it's going to be big, but stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe so that way you find out later on. But I really just wanted to show these shots to you guys to show you how active the discus are, because in the last video they were just hiding behind the Amazon sword like they usually do, but that time it didn't seem like they were hiding because they were shy. It just seemed like they were hiding because they weren't feeling too good. And Cheddar Bob right here was pooping out clear stuff, so I definitely had to take action right away. And as I mentioned in my top 3 signs that your fish is going to die video, if you see lack of appetite and clear poop, you don't want to wait around and see what happens. You want to take action immediately and take care of your fish. So I recommend, if you see those 2 signs, start medicating your tank. Move them to a quarantine tank if you can. So the first fish that I tried to feed or attempt to feed were my pair, because they're the biggest, and I figured the male was going to eat the ghost shrimp, but he ended up just beating the crap out of the ghost shrimp. As you can see, he like knocked it unconscious, and then he was like, "That's what you get for messing with my babies." And then he just left him there. And then I was like, "Really, dude? Like, you're not gonna enjoy your meal? Like, that's Red Lobster, fool." But no, he just left it there. I wasn't even sure if the shrimp was dead or plain dead or whatever. But regardless, I got another ghost shrimp, and I managed to get one with some tweezers, and I went to the 125-gallon tank, and I attempted to feed Cheddar Bob and Vivian. Now, the first few attempts, Vivian and Cheddar Bob, they weren't really able to eat the ghost shrimp. Vivian did get the ghost shrimp this time right here, and she wasn't able to fit it into her little piggy mouth, but she did try to eat it, so good for her. At least she attempted to eat it, and she attempted to not let good food go to waste, so I'm proud of her. And hopefully in the future she'll be a little bit bigger for the next live ghost shrimp feeding, so that way she can get herself a good meal. And as you can see, she's struggling to keep that down, so eventually she just says, "This is too much work. I don't want to deal with this anymore." And eventually she just lets go of the ghost shrimp and leaves the dead ghost shrimp on the floor, on the ground. But not before she tries to stuff it back into her mouth a few more times. And this is the cutest thing ever. I just loved watching this. It was really fun. And as you can see, Vivian is pretty brutal when it comes to these, ghost shrimp. She did try it, on and on, but eventually she was like, "Man, forget this. You move too dang much. I don't want you no more." And then she just came back to me and, was hoping I'd throw some flakes in there, but whatever. Anyways, so there's the ghost shrimp. He's just chilling all on his own. And for a few hours, I was able to watch them, and the gouramis didn't really mess with them too much. The discus for sure didn't mess with them. I was really hoping the discus would go for them, but I don't know what it is. You know, the Discus haven't eaten since I've gotten them, or maybe I just haven't seen them eat. They're usually playing. I mean, whenever I watch the aquarium from a distance, they're usually playing. They do play a lot with the angelfish and sometimes with the gouramis, but you know, when I get close to the tank and it's feeding time, they are shadows of the aquarium and they hide behind the Amazon sword and the wisteria plants, and they don't want to be bothered. They don't want to pay no mind to me, even though I take care of them like they're my babies. But you know, it is what it is. I should have, you know, I can't really, you know, complain about that because I knew what I was getting myself into when I was getting Discus. I knew they were going to be shy fish. I just didn't know that it was going to take this long for them to get used to me. And I'm starting to think maybe it's because there's only two of them and they don't feel comfortable when there's only two. I know I've read a few comments in some older videos, and a few of you told me that I need to have 5 or more Discus in a 125-gallon tank, which, you know, I'm going to do eventually. Is just that, you know, I got to make sure that I can, you know, keep these two. You know, I don't want to keep buying expensive fish and killing them. I think I've been doing good so far. You know, I've been medicating the tank. I've been doing my water changes. I've definitely been doing a lot of water changes. You know, I think this might be the only video where you don't see me do a water change, because the last video that you saw, I would say like 3 days afterwards I recorded this clip. So I had already done a water change that same week. So my plan is to only do a water change like once a week. I don't feel the need to do, you know, any more than that. Plus, when I do my water change, I'm not doing like a 25% water change. I'm doing like a big water change. It's a 125-gallon tank, and I do a 75% water change once a week. I'd say mainly like on the weekend, and I feel like that's sufficient. I feel like that's enough to keep the water conditions to where they need to be for the Discus. I know the angelfish doesn't really matter for them because they're really hardy. It's just the Discus that need that really good water, you know, because they're fancy like that. But yeah, you know, everything seems to be better now, you know, since I medicated it, the aquarium with the Mellow Fix. I should definitely try and get another bottle pretty soon and start dosing again. I think that's what I'm going to start doing, is just daily dosing of the Mellow Fix, you know, just to keep everything in check, everything in order. Because you know, Vivian seems a lot better now. Cheddar Bob seems a lot better. You know, his colors are, you know, popping a little bit more, and he's eating a little bit more. So, you know, everything is great, you know, and I'm enjoying the look of the tank for sure. I would say sometime this weekend I'll have my driftwood in my tank ready, and I just also got to figure out if I need to get more Anubias to tie to the driftwood. I'm also thinking about getting some Java Fern and putting it on the driftwood. If you haven't seen the driftwood that I picked out, if you go into my last video, you can see what kind of driftwood I picked out. Also, if anybody out there that watches my videos has any tips or recommendations on the easiest way to get plants such as Java Ferns and Anubias plants on driftwood, let me know. I usually use like zip ties, or I'll use like black string, not string, but like, you know, stuff you use to sew with. But if anybody has any recommendations or tips, let me know down in the comment section down below. It'll help me a lot. I know I'm gonna struggle getting some of those plants on that driftwood. I know I struggled a little bit with my 75-gallon tank getting those Anubias plants onto my lava rocks. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. My name is Master Aquatics. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, young God, for the blessing. Ayy.